Every once in a while, a story comes along in sports that, well, it just feels impossible. It completely defies logic, it defies all expectations. And today, we're diving into what a lot of people are calling the greatest sporting upset of all time. So, at the start of the 2015-2016 season, these were the odds the bookies were giving Leicester City to win the title. 5,000 to 1. Just let that sink in. To give you some perspective, that's like betting that you'll find the Loch Ness Monster. Seriously, it was considered an absolute, total impossibility. So the big question is how? How on earth does a team with odds like that pull off something so unthinkable, especially in what's considered the toughest football league in the world? Well, let's get into it. All right, so to really get your head around the scale of this achievement, you've got to understand the stage where it all went down. Okay, so the Premier League. It's the absolute pinnacle of English football. And it's usually dominated by just a handful of global giants with these massive, massive budgets. We're talking about your Manchester Uniteds, your Chelseas, your Arsenals. So for a club like Leicester, who, by the way, were in their 111th season and had never won a top division title, this wasn't just unlikely, it was completely, historically unprecedented. It just doesn't happen. But what's at the very heart of this story? It's the people. See, this miracle wasn't pulled off by a team of global superstars. No, this was a band of unlikely heroes who somehow came together and created something, well, something truly magical. So, who were these guys? Well, leading the charge was Claudio Ranieri, this calm, experienced Italian manager. People saw him as a steady hand, sure, but definitely not a title winner. Then you've got their main striker, Jamie Vardy, a guy who just a few years before this was playing non-league football. And out on the wing was the incredible Riyad Mahrez, a player nobody really knew, who just exploded onto the scene. He was so good, in fact, that his fellow players, the guys he was playing against every week, voted him the best in the entire league. And look, it wasn't just about the team effort, as amazing as that was. There were these moments of just pure individual brilliance. Jamie Vardy, for instance, went on this absolutely unbelievable run, completely shattering a Premier League record by scoring in 11 consecutive games. At the same time, Riyad Mahrez was making his own history, becoming the very first African player to win the PFA Players Player of the Year award. And remember, that's an award voted on by the other players, which just shows you the insane amount of respect he had. Now, a season like this, it's not about just one or two big wins. It's all about building this unstoppable momentum, week in, week out, until that tiny bit of belief just turns into cold, hard reality. Their journey through that season was just a masterclass in how to build momentum. I mean, they started strong back in August, but September, that's when they really showed their spirit, coming back from 2-0 down to snatch a victory. By November, Vardy's breaking records left and right. In December, they actually take down the defending champs, Chelsea. And then when the pressure was at its absolute highest in March, they just started grinding out these tough, gritty 1-0 wins. That proved they had the heart of real champions. I mean, it got to a point where people just ran out of words. The media, the fans, other players, everyone agreed. This wasn't just some great season. No, this was being described, even as it was still happening, as one of the greatest sporting stories of all time, period. So, how does a story like this actually end? With all that incredible momentum, with the eyes of the entire sporting world glued to them, the final chapter was about to be written, and this was the date, May 2nd, 2016, the day the impossible became official. Leicester City, the 5,000 to 1 outsiders, were crowned the champions of England. Just look at that. That's the moment. It's just pure, unadulterated joy. It's the culmination of a season that literally no one thought was possible. You see the players, the staff, the fans, all celebrating a trophy that meant so much more than just a title. It was proof of the power of belief, of teamwork, and of just absolutely defying impossible odds. And this victory, it cemented this incredible legacy of firsts for them. Not only was it their first ever top-tier league title in the club's history, but the ultimate prize was qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. We're talking about the competition for the absolute best of the best in all of Europe. They went from 5,000 to 1 outsiders to joining the continent's elite. They had really, truly reached the summit. The story of Leicester City is just one of those perfect reminders of why we all love sports so much, right? Because sometimes the impossible actually happens. It's such a powerful lesson about what can be achieved when all the odds are stacked against you. Which really leaves me with one final question for you. What's the biggest underdog story you've ever seen?